Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I will be walking you through a step-by-step guide to create a basic desk organizer like this one in TinkerCAD's codeblocks. If you'd like, you can take the skills you use in this video to make your own alterations and create your own custom desk organizer afterwards. But that was for the future, and for now, let's get right into it. The first thing that we'll have to do is go to Create New Design and select Code Blocks. Once our window is open, we will have to do a few things. First, I will zoom in so you can see better what I'm working on, and then I will drag in the Create New Object command from the Modify tab. Then I will go to the Shapes tab and drag in a box so that it clicks in place with the Create New Object. I will click on this arrow here, and I will make some changes to the box. I'll set the width of the box to be 80. I will set the length of the box to be 80. And I will set the height of the box to be 120, like so. Next, I'll go back to the Modify tab, and I'll drag in a Move command. And I am going to raise the box by 60. If I hit play, you can see what we've done. Next, I'm going to hollow out this box so that I can put things inside of it. In order to do so, I'll go back to the Shapes tab and I'll drag in another box. This one I will change into a hole by clicking this gray circle, and next I will alter the size of it a little bit. I'll set the width to 76. I'll set the length to 76. And I will set the height to be 120. I want the width and the length to be slightly smaller than the original so that I don't completely remove it. After this, I'll drag in a Move command, and I'm going to move this hole shaped box up by 70 on the Z axis. If we hit play, we can see that it's slightly taller. That's exactly what I want. Next, I'll simply drag in the Create Group command. And now we have the central compartment of our desk organizer. Next, I want to add some dividers so that I can keep things separate. For example, I want markers over here on this side, but I might want my pens and pencils over here, and maybe some other things that I keep on my desk, like tweezers or an X-Acto knife over here. In order to do that, I'll click and drag in another box. I'll click on this arrow. I'm going to set the width to 1, the length to 110, and the height to 120, like so. We hit play. We see we have this here. Next, I'll drag in a Move command, and I will raise that divider by 60 so that it's level with the rest of the box. And then I'm going to drag in a Rotate command. I want this divider to rotate on the Z axis by 45 degrees. Perfect. However, I'd like one more, so I'll drag in the Copy command, and I'll drag in the Rotate command again, and we'll rotate around the Z-axis by 90 degrees. And if we hit play, that looks great. Here is the basis for my central organizer. However, there are some things that I keep on my desk that I might want to store that would not fit easily inside of here or would be difficult to get out. Some things might be paper clips, post-it notes, anything that's not as tall as a pen or pencil will not be easily organized in here. So, next we'll be making some side compartments. In order to do this, we will go down a little bit, and I will drag in another Create New Object command. After this, I will go back to the shapes and I will drag in a wedge shape. If I hit play, we can see that the wedge shape is down here, and we can see it's a little bit too small. The first thing I'll do is correct its orientation. In order to do that, I will go back to the Modify tab, and I will drag in a Rotate command. I'm going to have it rotate around the x-axis by 180 degrees. So now it's here like this. Oh, I made a mistake. It should be 180 degrees. There we go. Next, I'm going to adjust the size of it. I'm keeping it under here so that I can adjust the size and I can see the size of it in comparison to the rest of the box. And I'll drag in a scaling command in order to do so. I'm going to change the X scaling to 4, the Y scaling to 3, and the Z scaling to 2.5. If I hit play, we can see that now now this wedge shape that will become my side compartment is the right size, matching a side of the box correctly. So next, I'll simply move it into position by dragging in a move command. I will keep X at 0, Y will change to -70, and Z will change to 30. If we hit play, we can see that it's nice and lined up with the edge of my central organizer. However, there's no place for me to put anything, so that will be the next thing that we remedy. In order to do this, I will drag in a copy command to copy that wedge shape, but I want this copy to be a hole. Next, I'm going to move the copied wedge shape up by 2 millimeters on the Z axis. If we click play, we can see what we've done. However, the problem is that our hole is overlapping with the sides. This will mean that while we can put stuff in, it will very easily fall out. So this will be the next thing that I will remedy. In order to fix this problem, I will drag in a scale command, and I am going to set the scaling of the X to 0.98. If I hit play again, you can see that now our wedge has sides to it when we remove each of the pieces. So I can drag in create group, and if I hit play again to merge the two, everything looks good. However, we only have a side organizer on one side. This is obviously not ideal. In order to put some more around, rather than going through all of this effort all over again, I will simply drag in a copy command to copy this side piece. Then I will rotate this copied piece around the Z axis by 90 degrees, and I will drag in a move command. I am going to set the X to 70, the Y to 70, and the Z will be kept at 0. That looks good, so we can continue to do this. I'll drag in another copy command, a rotate command, rotating around the Z axis by 90 degrees, and then a move command. In this case, I will set the X to be -70 and the Y to be 70. All good. Once again, copy, rotate around the Z axis, and move. In this case, the X will be set at -70 and the Y at -70 as well. If we hit play, we can see that we now have a basic desk organizer ready to be printed. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was informative. If this basic desk organizer is not to your liking, you can use the skills that I've showed you in this video to modify it in any way that you like. You could add more additional dividers to your central compartment. You could make the size of your side compartments smaller or larger to suit your needs. Maybe you'd prefer a shallower side compartment, for example, or you might think that they're too large. I designed these side compartments to be able to hold a square post-it or stack of post-its, but maybe you'd prefer more dividers because you have more smaller objects that litter your desk. I know that I, in particular, have a lot of loose screws lying around my desk from modifications I've made to 3D printers over the years.